I used to know a guy who was running a hostel right next to my apartment. I live in JBR. Back when I started investing in Dubai real estate, I met a lot of entrepreneurs, people doing Airbnb, short-term rentals, all kind of things. But this guy stood out. He was not doing Airbnb, he was running a full-blown hostel in a residential tower completely under the radar. He told me how he set it up, how much he was making, and what eventually happened. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how this hostel operates, what the numbers look like, and why they don't last. If you are thinking about doing this or you have seen one of these setups and wondered how they work, you will want to watch until the end. So this guy I knew was operating right here in JBR. He rented a 3-bedroom apartment for around 200,000 dirham per year. These are big units, around 2,000 square feet, and most have a maid room which can be used as a 4th bedroom. He did not use partitions, he just added 11 bunk beds next to each other, and that's 22 beds in total in a 3-bedroom apartment. When he showed me the photos, it looks surprisingly good. Each bed had a curtain for privacy, a small locker, and even a reading light and a socket. The living room had large sofas, PlayStation, big TV, and a dining table for 10 people. And honestly, it looks better than most hostels I've seen in Southeast Asia. And now there are even YouTube ads for these places. They look nice, but they are all doing the same thing, and it is illegal. Here is how the model works. First, they rent a 3-bedroom apartment long term, usually with one check, 200,000 dirham upfront. Obviously, they don't tell the landlord that it's for a hostel because that would be denied instantly. Then they furnish the unit. My friend did not use any partitions, he just placed the beds next to each other. Some people do add partitions, but that's even riskier. The building security will stop you if they catch you bringing partition in the lift. Some pay them off, and I will come back to that. For the furnishing setup, probably around 50,000 to 60,000 dirham in total. Then they list it on booking.com and they advertise it on social media like Instagram or even in Telegram groups. During the high season, they charge on average 150 dirham per bed per night and 100 dirham per bed per night during the low season. From what I saw, they were mostly full all year long. But let's imagine that they achieve 80% occupancy rate. They would be making approximately 720,000 dirham per year in revenue. Then there are the monthly costs. The Dewa utilities will cost approximately 2,000 dirham per month, and power will cost 1,000 dirham. Internet is approximately 400 dirham, and then they had to hire 2 cleaners for about 4,000 dirham in total per month. They also had to tip the security of the building about 1,500 dirham per month to make sure that they don't stop the guests from coming in and out. And for the maintenance, for broken appliances, for example, or just changing the linens here and there, I would estimate that it would cost approximately 10,000 dirham per year. So total yearly running cost would be around 330,000 dirham. That means a profit of approximately 390,000 dirham per year. That's 32,000 dirham per month per apartment, which is way more than what legal Airbnb owners like me make. But the catch is simple: if you get caught, you're done. So now let's talk about why it is illegal in Dubai to run a hostel. One is Dubai does not allow the shared rooms in residential building. There is this enforcement of subletting rules that requires at least 5 square meters per person, and sharing is illegal without landlord written consent. Second is there is no hostel license category in Dubai. The tourism authority only issues licenses for hotel, hotel apartment, guest houses, or holiday homes. And with holiday home permits, only full units are allowed, not beds, nor shared rooms. And lastly, JBR is a pure residential zone, not approved for tourist accommodation. Building management in JBR and Marina have repeatedly warned and cracked down on short-term rentals and bed spaces in residential towers. If you are finding this interesting so far, hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel. So how do they still exist? Simple. They rent under a regular lease. Don't tell the landlord, and they market online. You will see ads on booking.com, YouTube, Telegram, and some even call themselves co-living or shared stay to avoid the word hostel. They look professional, but they are not licensed, not registered, and not insured. And to make sure that they are not annoyed by the security staff, they end up being good friends with the security of the building, and often they have to tip them off to keep quiet. But there are real risks in this activity. So obviously, the legal risk for the people running the business typically would be fines, Dubai municipality cutting water and power, and even landlords get in trouble. And some may even get their visa revoked. But very importantly as well, there are risks for the residents in those towers because those buildings are not built to accommodate such a large amount of people. Last month there was a big fire in Tiger Tower right in Dubai Marina. Over 3,000 people were evacuated. It took fire crews 6 hours to control the fire, and thankfully no one was hurt. But here's the thing, after the fire, when the smoke cleared, inspectors found a bunch of partition walls, bunk beds, and overcrowded rooms in the building. Basically, people had been running illegal hostels and shared spaces inside the tower. And that fire became a turning point. Dubai authorities started doing follow-up raids in Marina and JBR, checking for similar setups. Since then, a lot of people have been caught. Some units have been shut down, others had their water and power cut off, and some landlords got fined. So yeah, it's not just about bending the rules anymore. Since Tiger Tower, they are watching more closely and enforcement is only getting stricter. Even in my building in JBR, we now have a security personnel sitting outside the door at the ground floor level, checking that everyone entering the building is using his own access card. So instead of trying to make quick money with a hostel, here is what you can do. Option 1, get a holiday home license. That lets you rent out the whole apartment on short term on platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com. But yeah, it has to be the full unit, so you can't just rent beds or divide the place with partition. Option 2, save for down payment. Buy a unit with a mortgage in a decent location from a decent developer and rent it. It could be on long term or short term. You can then accumulate multiple sources of incomes: the cash flow from the rent, the capital appreciation, and the equity that you build up by paying off your mortgage. The bottom line is, if you are in this for the long game, go legit. Chasing quick money with illegal hostels, that's a shortcut to a fine, a shutdown, or even visa problem. Dubai takes this stuff seriously. So yeah, those hostels that you see in JBR, they might look profitable, but they are not legal. If you are thinking of starting one, just don't. And if you stayed in one, now you know what's really going on behind the scenes. There are way better legal ways to make money with property here. In fact, I made another video breaking down exactly how much it actually costs to set up a legal Airbnb in Dubai step by step. I will link it right here. Go check it out next if you're serious about investing in the right way. And hey, drop a comment if you have seen or stayed in one of those hostel setups, or if you have been tempted to try something like this. I read every single one. And if you found this useful, give this a like and maybe even subscribe. There is more coming on Dubai real estate, Airbnb, and how to actually build something legit out here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.